I came here chasing wild horses, but what I found was peace, adventure, and something I didn't know I needed. Welcome back to Bunny and Beyond, where Sparrow and I are on our next adventure to the Salt River Recreation Area. Our van life adventures recently have had us in the city, and if you know us, that's just not our style. So we decided to go on a little adventure northeast of Mesa, Arizona, where the next week of exploring starts out at the Granite Reef Recreation Area. This video covers multiple hikes, hidden river spots, and the raw beauty of the desert. What we didn't expect is for the horses to show up in an unforgettable way. Located along the Bush Highway in Arizona, Salt River is part of the Tonto National Forest. It's popular, but if you go during the week, you can still find some serenity. I just smelled skunk that way. So, we're gonna go this way. The Salt River is the only river that flows year-round through this desert. This river's used for recreation, it's sacred to Native peoples, and it's vital to the wildlife. The Granite Reef area offers opportunities for hiking, bird watching, and gentle water sports like kayaking or paddleboarding. We don't have a kayak or a paddleboard in the van, so we went on foot to explore the river. Once occupied by the Hohokam people, remnants of their culture still linger in this area. The Hohokam engineered an extensive network of irrigation canals, some stretching over 16 miles, and long ago, this region was transformed into fertile farmland. Those very canals led the groundwork for the modern water systems in the Phoenix area. And as you explore this area, you realize you're walking through a landscape rich with history and cultural significance.
Oh, get them birds, Mom.
There's definitely something eerie about these woods. Like, you feel like you're being watched. There's a lot of like dark, brushy areas that like you hear sounds from. And I'm sure it's just animals, but like, what kind of animal?
I'm smelling all kinds of animals, Mom. I wonder what's in these bushes.
It's such an oasis for animals that you'll find coyotes, beavers, and even skunks here.
I can smell them, Mom.
I think we found the skunk smell. It's right there. Ew. Gross. Along the river is what's called a riparian zone. It's a stark contrast to the hardy desert plants in the surrounding uplands. The trees along the river include mesquite, Gooding's willow, cottonwood, and tamarask, or salt cedar. And nearby in the desert, you'll find saguaro, prickly pear, and barrel cactus. You'll also find palo verde, a tree with very few leaves, so its bark contains the chlorophyll, which gives it a pale green color. Other fauna include Gila monsters, snakes, and fish like the desert sucker, roundhill chub, and even bass and catfish. And, of course, raccoons. Oh, that looks like a raccoon. I hate seeing dead animals. I'm not a fan of this trail, but that's okay. Walking right along the road doesn't really feel like hiking at all, but this is a connector trail to the other ones in the area. In the meanwhile, we still got to listen to the beautiful birds at golden hour. Lots of bugs, though. Although we didn't see any wild horses at this location, we still enjoy the desert scenery. Golden hour here did not disappoint, with an absolutely beautiful sunset sprinkled with bats. I was told the best time to catch the horses was dusk and dawn. But on this day, we must have missed them. You're fascinated with fishing now, is that what it is? Places like this remind me how much life pulses beneath the surface, in the trees, in the river, and even in the ancient paths by people who knew this land long before us. The Salt River speaks, if you're willing to listen. Our next destination was also our campsite at the Maricopa Trail, a dirt pull-off along the Bush Highway. This location was great because we still had service, which meant I could still get some work done in the van. In the morning, we went out along the Maricopa Trail. The Maricopa Trail is actually a 315-mile loop that connects several regional parks around the Phoenix metro area. And in this segment, the trail meanders alongside the Salt River and cuts through dense strands of reeds and cattails in a unique hiking experience set apart from the desert above.
There you go. Good boy, Sparrow. I bet that feels so good. What's that?
For those interested in exploring the flora around Arizona, might I suggest Trees of Arizona Field Guide by Stan Tequila. It's an excellent resource and it offers detailed information on the diverse trees found throughout Arizona. You can find a link for it in the caption.
There's a cow right over there. What is it?
It's a lizard, Mom.
These reeds and wetlands are teeming with wildlife, while Red Mountain, also known as Mount McDowell, is a striking landmark along Arizona's Bush Highway, rising to an elevation of 2,832 feet. Its vivid red hue is made up of sandstone conglomerate, and it's considered sacred by the local indigenous communities, the Pima Maricopa Indians. You want to climb it? You can't. Public access to Red Mountain has been restricted since the early 1980s due to cultural significance and to prevent vandalism.
Oh no! Oh no!
The charred trees and burnt vegetation you observe along the trail are likely remnants of the bushfire, a significant wildfire that occurred in June 2020. This human-caused fire ignited along the Bush Highway near Route 87, and it expanded rapidly. It consumed approximately 193,455 acres of the Tonto National Forest. It stands as one of the largest wildfires in Arizona's history.
I don't know what that's from. I think I see either a cow or a horse over there. Do you see it? I can't tell if it's a cow or a horse. Oh, it's a cow. It's got horns. And horses don't have horns.
More recently, in May 2024, an incident known as the 87 fire burned approximately 85 acres near the same area, posing a threat to the local wildlife, including the Salt River wild horses. I didn't know that bald eagles were here, but after further research, I did find out that they do exist along the Salt River, and I was lucky enough to see one. We're still keeping our eyes peeled for horses, but nothing yet. But we are getting closer because this is fresh horse poop. There's something about horses that have always spoken to my soul. Maybe it's my past with them. Maybe it's the way they move, powerful yet calm, wild yet grounded. Horses are the embodiment of freedom, of living untamed and resilient no matter what life throws at you. But they also remind me to stay rooted, to trust my footing even when the path is unpredictable. Hoping to see them out here in the wild feels like a mirror, almost like the universe gently nodding back at me.
Hello, friend.
Mom, is that a pony? Oh no, that's a mooey.
The wild horses of the Salt River aren't just beautiful, they're at the center of a complicated debate. On one side, they're seen as symbols of freedom and living history, deeply loved by the community and protected by local advocacy groups. On the other hand, federal agencies like the Bureau of Land Management and Forest Service often raise concerns about overpopulation, environmental strain, and competition with native species and permitted cattle grazing. In 2015, these horses were nearly removed. Massive public outcry led to their protection. Now local nonprofits help manage the herd.
Good morning. I just woke up. I'm outside the van in this beautiful place. It's amazing. And there's this van that's parked over here that's absolutely gorgeously painted. I would never do this to my van. Absolutely never. But because I would rather just look inconspicuous, but look at this van. Look at that. Are they horses? Are they moose? Are they all kinds of animals? It looks like they're a bear or a coyote, maybe an elk and a moose, and a ferret. They're all different kinds of... I gotta see the other side. This is the back. It's really pretty. Wow, look at this side, you guys.
This van is a testament to the desert fauna. After having some coffee and getting back on the road, we're on to our next destination, the Sutton Recreation Area. Unfortunately, there isn't a lot of information about Sutton. No autobiography or documented history about him from online or from Tonto National Forest. Oh, it's like almost 10 in the morning on a Friday and no one's here. So I'm glad we're getting this in during the week because I feel like on the weekends this place is going to be packed. Every Google review I read said get here early. And this is the third parking lot and it goes all the way down there and then extends all the way back there. We're kind of like in the middle of it. So there is a lot of parking to accommodate a lot of people. And I'm glad we're not here when all of them are. All I could find was that the Sutton family had deep ties to the region and his father had such a love for the outdoors in the Salt River area that he had many efforts to preserve it for public use. Find a cave? What'd you find? What is it? Go up there.
I'll go check it out, Mom.
Looks like it's a waterfall. It's all dried up. Cool, huh?
Yeah, Mom, this is great.
Looks like there's another one up there.
The lower Salt River Nature Trail winds through this rich habitat. And as I immersed myself in this natural beauty, I could start to feel more connected and more grounded. And I think Sparrow did too. This trail is like stepping into a living tapestry of the Sonoran Desert. After wandering along the river, we ascended into the embrace of the towering saguaros and rugged canyon walls, each bend revealing a new facet of this diverse landscape.
Look at that cactus up there, just living its best life, living on the edge.
From the lichen to the cholla and prickly pear, the trail tells a story of resilience and harmony. The Salt River has been a lifeline for countless generations, and as you hike, you're walking through history and the enduring spirit of the desert.
We're gonna go this way. Come on.
The pale desert hues melted into canyon walls, but still no horses. Just the quiet promise that they were out there, somewhere just beyond our reach. We ended up finding a quiet spot along the riverbank on the way back and settled in to listen to the birds and the water moving. After so much rapid movement in van life, it feels so good to slow down and be still for a while. Want to go up the steps with me? Let's go. Crazy dog. By the end of this hike, I started wondering if we were ever going to see the horses. The day was winding down, and we had to head back into town to deal with something at the Arizona Department of Transportation, as I had just learned that my registration was suspended. There's more about that video, the link in the corner. But after hopefully dealing with that, we decided to return to the Salt River area to Coon Bluff Recreation Area. Coon Bluff goes back to 1919 and gets its name from an incident involving a group of Boy Scouts. During a camping trip in the area, they trapped a raccoon and served it to their parents, claiming it was pork as a prank. It's been recently discussed where people want to rename the area to either Mustang Bluff or Raccoon Bluff. It's a haven for bird enthusiasts, with herons and egrets and other waterfowl often being sighted. It's also a great place to see the Salt River wild horses, so maybe today is the day.
Get it? What is that?
Come on, I gotta get that thing.
Better not be a skunk.
I don't like skunks. I remember them.
Yeah, you do. No, Sparrow, this way. No, this way.
Now, primarily, Coon Bluff Recreation Area is a day-use only area. But between the months of October and March, and with a permit, overnight camping is allowed.
What that thing is. Look at the thorns on that bad boy. What's down there? Not to fall at the same time. There's like a cave under here. Cool. There's some up there. Sparrow, what are you doing? It's crazy dog. It's crazy. It's crazy. Oh, there he goes.
Walking along the bluffs is almost like scrambling across big boulders. You're not really sure how much further you can go until you keep going. But once you get there, the views are phenomenal. Coon Bluff acts as an access point for kayaks, paddleboards, and tubes to float down the river. You can go on a hike on foot like we did, or you can just spend the day fishing and watching birds. Unless you're a dog. Then you can have fun chasing the lizards through the reeds, or just going swimming.
Crazy. And you're gonna shake it off all over me. Yep.
We did see some more cattle across the river, but still no horses. But we're not complaining, because look at this view.
These mountains over here. It's pretty special.
And much to my demise, we did not see horses this day, but we did see plenty of horse poop, so we must be getting closer. Maybe it's because I have Sparrow with me that they are not showing up. But that's okay, because I couldn't possibly enjoy this as much as I do with him. Well, we did indeed have a pass, and we spent the night along this road, because it was within the months of October and March. And in the morning, we did try to take another hike, but this one wasn't as fulfilling as the others.
I'm about to go into this trail, and I just realized, like, it's been herbicide, so he's on a leash. They're trying to kill salt cedar.
As beautiful as it is, salt cedar is an invasive species.
I don't know, maybe it's the clouds today, but, like, there's something eerie about it, right? 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 Look at the mountains, though. That's pretty.
We both tried to endure this trail as long as possible, but with the sugar sand underneath us and the bugs flying in our face, we weren't really excited about it, to be honest.
It's beautiful, but it's also boring. And the whole trail is this loose sand, and I'm not about it. So we're gonna go back, because this is not fun. I feel like if we were closer to those mountains, it's probably more beautiful, but, like, the bugs are really disgusting, and they're going right in your eyes, so no. We're gonna go back to the van.
Guess it can't all be rainbows and sunshine, so we're going to go back to the campsite and relax because it's supposed to rain anyway. And I still had service here so I could get some work done. The next morning, though, we ended up going to Pebble Beach Recreation Area. The size of the parking lot hints to the amount of people that visit here. I think being there during the week was the key to the peacefulness that we found here. There isn't much written history about Pebble Beach itself. There's no big events, no famous landmarks there. Maybe that's what makes it special. It's just the raw beauty of the desert stretching out along the Salt River.
Did you get it? You gotta get it.
We wandered through the game trails and the scattered camp spots, hoping to spot wild horses. But all we found were signs that they had been there. Plenty of hoof prints and piles of manure, but again, no horses. And even without much history to this place, the silence said more than any story ever could.
Okay. Wow.
I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little disappointed that we didn't see the horses this day. But just look at this place. It's not like it was disappointing in any other way, shape, or form. I think this was one of my favorite spots. But we still had daylight to kill. And on the way to Pebble Beach, we passed a spot that we hadn't seen on the map before that. Goldfield Recreation Area. It took nearly a full week of exploring this place, weaving through trails, river bends, and wide open washes before it finally happened. We were just about ready to give up, but then there were wild horses. Not in the distance this time, but right there just beyond the reeds.
And we also have stupid people who can't just leave them alone. Going right up to them. Yep. I mean, can you just let the horses eat?
Sparrow was quiet and observant, maybe even a little in awe like me. The horses didn't seem bothered by us or by the handful of people nearby. They moved slowly and deliberately, confident and untamed. It was one of those moments that just stops you. After days of searching and walking and wondering to finally stand in the presence of something so free, so deeply tied to the spirit of this land, it felt like a gift, the icing on the cake of a week already filled with beauty.
Mommy, they look like friends. Maybe they'll throw the ball for me.
And even though they seemed calm, I never forget their power. These aren't domesticated animals. They're desert-born, resilient, intuitive, and capable of incredible strength. I held on to that awareness, letting admiration guide the moment more than anything else. To be there with my dog watching these horses graze and move through their world like we weren't even there, it was magic. Desert, Salt River magic.
I don't know what to think about that, Mom, but those are big ponies.
And then something even more unexpected happened. One of those horses slowly made their way toward us and toward Sparrow. We were up against the reeds and really didn't have an exit. I held my breath and my instincts kicked in to keep him close and grounded. He didn't bark or lunge, just stood there still and curious as they came closer. Of course, I didn't let it go too far. I know what they're capable of, and I respect it. But standing there in the sun, in that dusty stillness, watching the horses acknowledge us, was something I won't ever forget. A whole week we had hoped for this, and to have it happen with Sparrow by my side, it was the whole moment. I didn't even know I needed. But their curiosity was a bit much, so we skirted back behind the bushes and watched as they wandered into the trees. I'd be lying if I said I didn't cry. It was beautiful. And back at our campsite, it was a chilly, rainy day, so we cozied up until the next morning where I discovered a leak. I don't know where it's coming from. Yeah, I'm not really sure how it's coming in, but it looks like it's coming from up here. But whatever. What am I gonna do? At least we're dry inside. Because it's pretty yucky out there. Until I heard what I thought was thunder beating through the sky. But no, it was the herd galloping past my campsite. As if this week couldn't get any better, it did. The Salt River will forever have a place in my heart.